Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is doing all right and okay. I hope all of you are having an amazing summer. And today, I just want to sit back and reflect on how we're always looking to play games that have the most amount of people online of all time. And most of the times, we are focusing on a chart or on a metric instead of on the quality of the product and the benefits that having a more niche and tight experience can bring to the table. So, as you guys are probably familiar, if you've been watching my channel at least, I am a big fan of World of Warcraft. At least the classic version of the game, because it was one of my favorite games when I entered my college years and I had a lot of fun and met a lot of people during my COVID era of gaming, where I was playing WoW Classic and enjoying the servers that were filled with people and new people that were enjoying the game for the first time, like I was back then, because I had never played WoW Classic. And nowadays, that magic is kind of dimmed out ever since we got Mists of Pandaria Classic. It's not the same thing. The game is still there are still anniversary realms that you can play, but it's not the same thing, and it put me on a search in the last few weeks for an MMO to play because I really enjoy MMOs and I really like the grind up to the end game and then meeting new people and playing and enjoying end game content with a group or a guild. So I started searching, but I ended up falling into the trap of looking up too much and playing too little. And I wasted what looked like 2 to 3 days looking for a game that had the perfect balance of player base, new content, and just quality of the content overall. But I think the player base was one of the biggest factors in searching because no one wants to play that game. Because why would you invest a lot of time in a game that can be dead in a couple of years? Because if you are going to be putting sweat, time, and most importantly, money into something, you would want it to last for a good amount of time, at least to the point where you don't care about it anymore for it to die peacefully without you being mad about it. It was after playing WoW for a few days and putting it down because I was feeling pretty disappointed with the state of the game that I decided to go back to one of my favorite games of all time, if I would consider the time I have put into it and how much I enjoyed it, which was Star Wars The Old Republic. And this is not a SOTOR video, I don't want to go deep into the game, but I want to talk about the feelings that it invoked in me and how I was feeling coming back into it and talking with people that were playing the game at that time and have been playing for a long time and what my experience has been in the last few days. So I created a character and I have been playing it, leveling it up, and doing the most diverse amount of content that I can do to tackle stuff I haven't done so yet and experience as much as I can. And what I've noticed within these communities that I've been exploring and that I explored before deciding that SOTOR was what I wanted to play is that niche and smaller honestly isn't just good, it is better. Because I think it's a product of its era that nowadays the bigger audiences have become a lot more toxic. But I think the games that are prone to have more players tend to have systems in place that one way or another are going to make the game toxic. Take an example again, WoW and the current state of Mythic Plus in WoW Retail or of even just random dungeon finder in group finder, where people are just so toxic where they are kicking out people who have basically no idea why they have been kicked, either because the other people in the group want an item and they have competition for it, so they kick the person who is also competing for that item, or if the DPS is a little too low, instead of offering some advice on how they could improve, they just kick the person with no explanation, even though most of the times, even if one person is pulling back, you can clear the dungeon just as easily. And I have been reminiscing on old times where we were playing on servers with less and less people, and that is one reason for why I also dislike the idea of mass servers, and just reflecting on the fact that niche servers and playing the least popular games might really be what I'm more inclined to do nowadays. Not only because the community is more helpful because they want to keep the few players that are coming in, but because having closed circles in this game and meeting people that you are going to talk for the foreseeable future is what MMOs were all about, meeting people and creating everlasting relationships. And that was what games like WoW decided to do in the beginning. They were glorified social hubs with gameplay attached to them. And I think, and this is very common knowledge to anyone that is in the MMO genre nowadays, but I think we have kind of lost sight of what the main purpose of these games were. And just keep in mind that I'm not criticizing anyone who wants to min-max in games like these, because at some point you will have experienced too much socializing and you will want to clear the end game content as efficiently as you can. We have all been there. At some point we all want to try hard in our favorite games, but I think there has to be balance and there has to be space for people to enjoy being better than others while also teaching, or maybe not even teaching. You don't have to waste your time teaching smaller players, but just being friendly to them and pointing them in the right direction as much as you can. And the entire point of this video is not to act like I discovered some amazing thing, more so than it is to reminisce or think about and reflect upon my most recent experiences while searching for games, and maybe to give some advice to some of you who are searching for a multiplayer game to play. If you really want a multiplayer game to play, maybe look on or look forward to joining smaller communities, games like Guild Wars, games like SOTOR, games that have a community that for some reason decided to stick with the game no matter how popular the other game was. If you want to talk about this in the comments, leave a comment and I will answer for sure. And if you want more RPG and MMORPG content, make sure to stick around as we are doing a lot of that now that I have a new microphone. And just a small thing here, I want to thank all of you who waited patiently for me to get a new mic, and I hope I can give you some more videos in the near future. Other than that, this has been the Retro Den, and I'm out.